want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll take for their disease. Rage just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make great.
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. And I'm back. Hey, guys. Hello, hello, hello. We're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk, Nancy Guthrie, and missing General McCasland. Today is a day that, I really am. I've been looking at these charts, right? I've been looking at the past, the present, the future with the charts when it comes to these cases. And, I'd watched another astrologer do a video. I mean, I'm just a little astrologer on the totem pole of the public eye, right? Um, Of course, the way I do astrology is so much different, and I investigate using the tool of astrology. With Nancy Guthrie's case, with Charlie Kirk, those of you on this channel, you know that the night before Charlie Kirk was taken out, I saw it. I was talking to Shauna and I was texting her back and forth this infamous chart and told her we really need to watch what's going to happen during this time. I had 12:15 and Charlie Kirk was allegedly taken out at 12:23. So, the people that I was seeing in that chart was not Vladimir. Putin, I did not see in that chart. But who I did see in that chart was Donald Trump, Israel, Elon, and the Epstein people, Epstein, Ghislaine. That's who I saw. And I knew it was going to be about them. I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I had no clue who he was. And I stand on that still today. Because everything that I'm seeing that is coming up for Arizona and Charlie Kirk's wife, widow, Erica, I'm seeing all of that. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys about that. I also want to talk to you guys about Nancy Guthrie and the energies that are surrounding her case right now that have to do with her son in law, Tommy. And we're going to project that too. We're going to look into the future charts of that as well and look at their map with it. So I'm really excited to get going on this and McCasland as well, because there's things that are coming up for him as well. All right. Because Nancy Guthrie went missing on a full moon in Leo. It was in bulk and it was millions and millions of documents had just dropped on Epstein. What a great way to sidetrack everybody, to get your mind focused on her and not Epstein. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and millions of people across the world that are invested in Charlie Kirk. They're invested in Nancy Guthrie. And I'm not saying that I know for sure what happened with Nancy and where she could be found. It was pretty much, I mean, I'd already decided that the blood that was found on the porch was from her arm. It was from her arm because she's got a picture of her left arm being totally bruised, like bruised all the way down. And so obviously she would have hit her as she's walking, she would have hit her hand, her arm on the door or something as she is going out. She hit her arm on something. But why they didn't take, I mean, not even the FBI took the mat for forensic evidence. It's the craziest. This has been, besides Charlie Kirk, it's the craziest investigation I've seen or I've heard about in the public eye. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, her thinning skin. I mean, we don't know if she was on blood thinners or whatnot. But I do know that if you know, I tell you what, before I get going on the astrology and all of that, I want to catch us up on the chatter. Because, like I said, I mean, for me, you didn't get the notification. Oh, God dang it. Well, I'm sorry about that. Let me go ahead and post it that I'm live. Maybe other people didn't get it. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. Hold on just a second. All right, I'm going to post it. Join me live. Almost sounded like, join me live right now. Don't you not join me. Okay. Yeah, I just went ahead and shared it. Sorry, Jeff. I hate it when that happens. But we could just get started. We can kind of warm up before I really get going on the investigation of what I'm seeing because the map, since Nancy Guthrie has been missing, it ain't lied yet. It has not lied yet. It's told us the story. Well, this, this new development of the FBI going back to her house before the monsoon. I mean, it just, why now? Why now? Just to add more prevalence, like you're actually doing something, maybe the mat, doing forensic evidence on the mat, but hey, they came back, it's Nancy's, no big deal. Everybody has been focusing on the family, the family, the family, but what we really need to focus on, when she goes missing, there is a Leo. There is all kinds of Leo. What is Leo? It's about kids. It's about publicity. And Epstein files, kids, publicity, you know. You got the Israeli ambassador coming into Arizona. There's just all kinds of little coincidences happen. And but hey, I'm just not buying it. I'm just not. I'm not buying this conspiracy at all. There is so much more, I think, than these investigators, these YouTube investigators are really taken into consideration. Savannah Guthrie, big time journalist, investigating, attorney, graduated with an attorney degree, I mean, a law degree. And she's interviewing one of the Epstein peoples, one of, Israeli's peoples, Alan Dershowitz. If anybody has got a vendetta against Savannah, I would think it would be him. I would definitely think it would be him. But, let's see what Brian Inton has to say because he just uploaded this video today and I'm definitely giving him full credit with this video. Here's the link right here, guys. There you go. But let's listen to what he has to say. Let's see what he says. We're not going to listen to the whole 40-minute him, and Maureen, he and haw hawing, but we're going to listen to some of it.
Agent Maureen O'Connell, who is a good friend of mine. You guys have seen her on the show a bunch of times. We've really been diving into the Nancy Guthrie case since the very beginning, and I want to get her thoughts on a couple of these new elements. First of all, you guys know I've become friendly with a lot of Nancy's neighbors just because I spend so much time there, and they have confirmed to me that FBI teams have been back in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood in the last couple of weeks, and they know who they are because several of the neighbors, have done interviews with the FBI. The same agents have come to their house several times to talk to them, so they know kind of who they're looking for. They know who these people are. They know that it's the same agents who are out there initially. And what's interesting is I'm told that the FBI agents were in an area kind of behind Nancy's house. And if you look at Google Earth here, you can see what I'm talking about. There's almost like I don't want to call it an.
Let's look at that. Let's look at that. Let's go in and look at that where he's pointing to. He is pointing right here. So it's just to the side of the driveway. Okay. Just to the side of the driveway. Let's go back to my map. Just to the side of the driveway. Let's just look at the FBI. Hold on. Let's just look at the FBI. Let me take Annie off. So if it's to the side of the driveway, let's just look at these. We'll start here and work our way over. Scorpio line opposes him. This is where leads come in with the FBI, and this connects to Tommaso. The leads, Tommaso and the FBI receiving leads definitely connects to him. FBI, this is where they fall. They fall with relationships when it comes to the action, but it could definitely be an arrest worthy. This is where the FBI has a little slowdown. It takes them a while. There could be something here that is government owned, a pipe, city, something having to do with the city, something having to do with an authority. And then we've got right here, there's a breakup here, a breakup with warring, with charity, with hospitals, medicines, leg addiction, things of the past. And then right here on the driveway is where the FBI, there is a magnetism here. There is a magnetism here about things of the past. This could be having to do with some type of healthcare or a healthcare worker. So let's go back to what he's saying. Just wanted to show you guys that real quick.
Alley, but that's kind of the first word that comes to mind. But there's like a dirt sort of driveway, but it's like a public, it's kind of like an alley that goes in an area sort of in the vicinity of the land behind Nancy's house. And one of the neighbors was telling me that she saw an FBI agent back in that area. I've been back behind Nancy's house, and I at one point I got permission from one of the neighbors to go back there. There's a lot of
That's interesting because if that is what he's saying, that's very interesting because there could be an alleyway. He's saying there's like this little alleyway. So maybe it's right through here. That's interesting. There's a lot of intense experience. There's an intense experience here with the FBI, but this goes all the way to Quantico. This goes all the way to their testing facility in Quantico. Okay. But this is where the natal Jupiter in Gemini is going. So there could be some evidence that is found here, especially having to do with two people, with communications, with anything having to do with communications. And let's see. The missing event is here. Let's go deeper down. Well, that's as far as I can go. Never mind. The missing event is also here. There's a letting go. There's a breakup with communications. Hold on. There's more natal. Okay. I see. I see now what I was doing. Okay. I see what I'm doing now. Hold on. Let me turn off this natal. I see. This is where we really want to be then. The health factors going this way during the missing event and with the FBI. Damn, it's conjunct the FBI, Hygeia. Was conjunct the FBI. Interesting. And there's an expansion with this. This would be definitely lawful where the FBI could even find something through here going this way. Let me see if Annie is showing up here. She is. Dang, her Hygeia is also here. The health with the health with communications. William Hubie, the absconder. Okay. His girlfriend. Hold on, let me see. There's Tommaso. And this is where Mercury and Gemini is. All attention is on him. And there's a lot of disordered aggression too about things of the past in healthcare, possibly substances. I don't know if they are on any type of substances. But this is what I was doing. I see now. Okay. When I was looking at her map, this is what I was doing because this is what's happening. We are we are having a solar eclipse. New moon, solar eclipse. And this is where we're going with it though. Let me turn on the addresses. This is where we're going. This Leo energy is eclipsing the FBI and Nancy Guthrie. The FBI and Nancy Guthrie. The FBI's friend groups, how they bring in money, all attention on them, and also with Nancy. And this is where Nancy has pain. She shares pain about education, about school, with her children, and the communications with her kids. So let's look at this angle because this is what is really in transit right now. There's an eclipse taking place. Okay. So we've got Hacienda de Sol Estates. We got where Gary Triano passed away, another rental for Ryan McDaniel. Ryan McDaniel was renting the property that was next door. Also, there's all kinds of, people that could be involved here. Clarence Daily relative, Clarence Thiessen, Mara Daly. So that would be Luke's mom or her sister. There's a senior living right here, Fort Lowell Park Historic Museum. And look, we've got some Epstein connections here with Valeria. Interesting. I'm looking for a school. I'm looking for any type of education. Okay, so here's where the gloves were found. So there's going to be an eclipse with this where the gloves were found. Let's see. Auto Center. No. Lehman Academy of Excellence. Okay. Lehman Academy of Excellence. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this. This is where Charles Guthrie, Phelps Dodge, this is where the gold rush was. We could really go back into time, guys, where the gold rush was in Bisbee. Right here. It's eclipsing right through here. That could be it with the gold rush. We could definitely be reflecting on that. Rose Canyon. Let's keep going. Let's see what is going all the way here. Clinton, Oklahoma. Law school. Nah. And this is where Larry Summers, Harvard University, the law of Alan Dershowitz. The law of Alan Dershowitz. That's right there on that Jupiter. And Jupiter would definitely be about attorneys, but it would be two attorneys. It could be an attorney's associate. You think, an attorney wouldn't do that bullshit. Yeah, you wouldn't believe. Oslo, Norway. That's an Epstein connection going into Norway. But this right here, we're going into Mexico City, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia. Well, we know what just happened with Colombia today. They just had a big old quake. Big old quake. Interesting. Interesting, guys. Let's go back here.
Open land behind her house, and it's kind of hard to describe unless you see it. I'm going to put some of this video up from when I was walking around back there, but you can walk around back there. I mean, it's a little treacherous because there's a lot of cactuses and there's rocks, but you can walk in between them and kind of get around. And even some of the neighbors have said to me that, when their kids were young, they would like all run around back there and sneak around back there and get to each other's houses kind of through these back little pathways. It would be difficult at night. It's very, very dark. But it is interesting that it seems the FBI is once again looking and interested in that area behind Nancy's house. One of the reasons I'm told could be because of the monsoons. There's been a lot of rain there this time of year. There's like little waterways that form this time of year that are not there at other times when it's not the rainy season. And so evidence could have been moved around, that kind of thing. I'm told that's one of the reasons they may have been looking back there. There's also the possibility that they think whoever did this may have left through the back. We know those back doors were propped open from what we've been told. So before I get to my conversation with Maureen, I want to play for you guys when I was back behind Nancy's house, and this is over a month ago. And again, I got permission from one of the neighbors to be there, just so you know, it was on his land. But I was able to get a really good look at the back of the house, which I think is interesting to talk about and show you guys again because of the FBI agents being back there again just within the last couple of weeks. And when I get into this conversation with Maureen, you'll have a better idea of what I'm talking about if I kind of show you this video again. So I want to play this for you just so you can get a visual again of what the back of Nancy's house looks like. All right, I'm going to walk up closer here. And yes, I have permission to be back here, just so you guys know. You guys know I've kind of gotten to know a lot of the neighbors. So, and I'm not going to go. You see there's these private property signs. So I'm obviously not going to cross onto Nancy's property, and I want to be respectful in that way. But this is, again, it's just kind of surreal to be back here because this is the closest that, I mean, I've only seen it from the drone video, but this is the closest I've been able to get to Nancy's backyard. This is obviously her pool area here. You can see that these cameras were put up, which we saw on the drone. These cameras, I believe, are new since, remember we saw people come and put cameras up after everything went down. So this is the pool side. And I think there's a gate over here, right down those steps right there. You can't really see it that easily, but like right there is a gate to get into the backyard. It's so awesome when I have a sponsor and I get such positive feedback from you guys. I've received a ton of emails saying ZocDoc really works. And I'm like, yeah, I know because I use it myself. And I'm happy that ZocDoc is sponsoring this video today. I've used ZocDoc several.
So he's going to walk in the back of the yard. That's basically what he's going to do.
Prior to working for the FBI, I worked in finance in Wall Street.
He's just going to walk into the backyard, and then him and Maureen, they're just going to talk about it. Okay. But we're about to be about it. We are about to be about it. So let's go back and let's look at the backyard, because I want to go where, for now anyway, I want to go where it's going to be eclipsing. I want to see the big energy of the eclipse. It'll be a 20-degree. And so it's going to be more over here. Missing Venus conjunct Mercury in Aquarius is opposing Selena in Leo. This is going to be the teacher. The teacher, let's see if the FBI is anywhere over here in the backyard where he's looking. They're walking in the backyard. So the Jupiter in Leo, there's a lot of pain here, and it's going this way. Of course, we could say, well, that could be the cameras, Jen. I don't think so. There's a teacher. There's a teacher here. Selena in Leo, there's a teacher. I'm looking for a school, a teacher who would have come in town to teach. Well, I tell you who would have come in town to teach. I tell you who would have. The Israeli ambassador would have come into town to teach. He came to this area right here. This is where he was. And as you can see, the FBI, the 11th house, where they are reflecting with a lot of darkness, with the flame of life, is coming right here. Absolutely right here. Are you renewed, girl? Yay. Good for you. Welcome back, babe. Welcome back to the watches, honey. Good for you. Glad you are, thank you, sweetheart. Welcome to the Watchers, babe. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, Tommaso is a teacher, but I'm looking on this angle. I want to look on this angle for the teacher. So we can see that there is definitely a school. This was highlighted when she went missing. So we know that. Let's go to the opposite end where Venus and Mercury is opposing the teacher. Where is the teacher being opposed? Right here. So we're going this way. There's the Catalina Church. Catalina Church is right here where the teacher is being opposed. El Charro Cafe. Home care assistant. So the teacher is being opposed here. So could the teacher have gotten somebody from here? Was there anybody paid? Anybody paid to take her? There's a home care assistance. Let's keep on going. Anything else we see? Kurt Stinson used to live here, real estate. So real estate guy. William Hubie, his mother. He is the absconder that I've been looking at. Let's keep on going and see if there's any other teacher up here. We got a reservation. Oh, dang. We got all kinds of Charlie Kirk's memorial. She went missing after Charlie Kirk was taken out, right? So his memorial was here in Glendale. And there is the missing Venus that is conjunct Mercury in Aquarius. And it's opposing the teacher. The teacher in Leo. All about groups. This is the groups. This is where, there could be evidence. This is where the media, all media is right here. She goes missing in February. But it already foresees the memorial. And then here's the FBI over here. Ralph Wagner, associate of Hoffman. I've got several people on here that y'all may never have heard of. Hold on. Don't know who those addresses are. I wish that I would have put it right there. And then we've got the Oasis. We got a casino here. Got a casino during the missing event with the teacher, with groups, with money. I think that somebody could have a gambling habit that took Nancy. I think that they may have a little gambling habit. Past address for Mara Daly. And we're going up into Oregon with the FBI. This is where the FBI shares a lot of pain, especially with groups, with video, with evidence. And again, that's a casino. But then we also have, like I said, we also have where Charlie Kirk, his memorial was. Just very interesting. Very interesting. So this is where the eclipse is taking place. But what I really want to do now is show you. Oh, thank you, honey. What I really want to do now is show you the astrology and the dates that I'm watching because, guys, I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you all why. Vladimir, no, that's a no-go. Unless they are all conspiring together. I mean, I think that it's possible. I think that it's possible. With the teacher, are you showing Las Vegas? Hey, Amy. I'm really honed in on where the Israeli ambassador went on that Leo line with the teaching. Let me show it to you again. Let me just show it to you again. Hold on. I'm more honed in right here. Let me go back. Right here. Because here's the teacher. This is the actual teacher right here. Venus. It's basically saying the media and the evidence are opposing this ideal, this belief right here. All attention during the missing event with a teacher is coming here. All of it is. And the FBI is literally going right over it, right over Tucson Hebrew Academy. And this is exactly where the Tucson Jewish Community Center, Jewish Philanthropies, this is exactly where the Israeli ambassador came to, right here. And disordered aggression with friend groups, how they bring in money, lots of attention here, especially with friend groups, schools, kids, attention brings enlightenment with the flame of life and death. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's the teacher. I'm pretty much I would be confident because there is a school right here and the Israeli ambassador came here. And if we even go even further, if we even go further, we can just, we can bring up some other people. Let's see. Annie, Chris Nanos, and let's go even further down. Let's see who else we've got here. We've got the FBI, like I said. We got the missing event. There's the teacher. There's Annie. There's a flame of life with Annie. But she doesn't see it. She does not see it. And it's about long travels. It's about religion because Sagittarius is about religion. It's in a good standing with that Neptune that's in Sagittarius. Her Vesta in Leo. This is where all of the eclipse is coming. This is where the energy is right now. The new moon, the sun, all of that is going to be right here. We're coming right back here. The sun is right here. So it's interesting to me. This is about religion, university, attention, schools, immigration, international law, river, lawyers, judge, courts. And see, this is the reason why, because you don't hear Maureen. You don't hear Brian Itten. You don't hear all these great investigators talking about the fact that this is a political event. Very, very political. And it's going back to Epstein, Alan Dershowitz, and Savannah and the Virgin Islands. The Leo energy was surrounding her when she went missing. We had the full moon in Leo. Now we're about to have a new moon in Leo. The full moon in Leo was about kids, publicity. Well, in order to take the publicity and the 3 million documents that had just dropped with Epstein, there's a vendetta. I mean, here's Chris Nanos too. His Pluto, where he is transformed in the public eye with a lot of pain surrounding his authority, his work, Everything about him, it's right here. So yes, I am honed in right here. And I have been since she went missing because this is this was very important energy for her. In Savannah, of course, I don't know what time these people are born, so I don't know. They could be going right over this school too. Just because Savannah is over here doesn't mean that she doesn't have the energy right there, but it's still right here. There's a lot of energy. It's almost like a directed energy, but there's a Jupiter in Sagittarius that's it's in a good standing. So it would be about the flight. It would be about the religion, law, Alan Dershowitz. And I can promise you something, Alan Dershowitz, he's right here too. If I were to put him in the map, oh, he's right here. He's going to come right over this school too. And it would be the lowest point that he has at home with his kids. And when Savannah was interviewing him 10 years ago or however long it was, his daughter was in the audience. He was pissed. And he never got over that. And he is Israel. He is BB's right-hand man. The Israeli ambassador was there that day that she goes missing. He had flown in. He flew in. We can even look and say, okay, well, where did he fly in at? Where did he fly in at? The airport. Let's look at the airport. At the Tucson International Airport. Because this is where he flew in at. Unless he, even if he was on a private plane, even if he was on a private one, he would have flown in right here. Tucson International Airport. Again, there is that 11th house. It's the same angle. We are at a different place in the map, but it's still the same angle. It's all about that teacher. So what is very interesting about this Neptune in Virgo that Nancy Guthrie has, it's a 2941. The two people that connect to that 2941 is Vladimir Putin and Israel. And Israel. And Israel. It's a 2941. And because her Neptune is in Virgo, it's the opposite sign that Neptune is usually, is comfortable in. This is sitting in the 9th house of the United States of America. This is all about religion, politics, judges, attorneys. And again, there's the FBI. We got Tommaso. He is totally transformed with the law enforcement. Totally transformed. Then we have at 10 o'clock, this is where, at 10 p.m., this is where the event is rising here. This is a big deal. It's a very big deal. The fact that that is what is going over the airport right there with the FBI. Is it somebody that the FBI knows? Is this some type of political thing? Is some type of cover up? I think so. I think so. Is Vladimir on the list? In my opinion, Netanyahu is allegedly. Oh, BB is definitely a part of this. Definitely a part of it. In my opinion. I mean, in my opinion, he is. That is what I was seeing with the energy when she went missing. Okay. So let me show you this. Let me just show you this. Hold on. And then we'll get to Charlie Kirk here in just a second. Hold on. But I do want to show you the astrology when she goes missing, what is coming up now, and what is coming up like what's really coming up. Okay, so watch this. Or at least listen, okay? Just listen to what I've got to say. You don't have to understand astrology, you don't have to know astrology to understand any of what I'm about to tell you, because I'm gonna try to make it in, I'm gonna try to really dumb it down. The moon is in Cancer, and look at that. We've got a 2940, and it's coming into a 2941. So there is 2 people, there is communications about flight. Mars, there's a combust in the air. We're talking about a lot of energy, lots and lots of energy that is going to the 2941. It's going to Israel. It's going to activate their chart. It's going to activate the values of Vladimir. It's happening right now. And look, this morning, okay, and yesterday, Pluto was at a 357. That connects to Savannah Guthrie. It connects to Virgin Islands. And that Pluto is also connecting to, you guessed it, Alan Dershowitz. That's right. And right now, there's a breakup. There's a breakup that is actually with the United States, but that 559, that goes to Tommaso, and that's been in transit for 3 days now. It has been activating his chart. There has been a breakup with him and evidence. Communications. And it's federal. There's a breakup with him. Interesting indeed, 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 indeed. It's so interesting to see this. So, let me show you what else is happening, because this is just right now. This is just right now. If we look at Nancy when she went missing, let me just pull up any chart with her, and let me pull up Israel. And yeah, let's look at this. When she goes missing. And it could be, somebody happened to do somebody at Carlotta's or something like that. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing on the map. What I'm seeing with this Leo energy, because the Leo is where we are going, where she is being eclipsed. Okay. Right now, Jupiter has already, I mean, there's already been a transformation, but there's that Chiron where she is sharing pain. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So that Chiron at 11, I wanted to pull up when she went missing. Shit, hold on. I wanted to pull that up first. Hold on. Nancy Guthrie. I may just have Nancy missing. Let me see. There it is. And I began her missing event at 10 because that's the last time she was seen. So I began it at 10. That's before I knew any of the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when Nancy goes missing, her Chiron, we don't need to forget, her Chiron is an 11 degree in Leo. So the moon is coming and conjunct. The moon is conjunct. So we're reflecting something of public. What did she make on her post, on her Facebook post that was public? She was condemning ICE. She was condemning immigration. Alex Preddy had just passed away. That was something else that had happened. So needless to say, Needless to say, this 2439 with Eris, with relationships, all of the discord, all of this, all of that at 10 p.m. exactly, there is a major discord in Minnesota, and that connects to Minnesota's chart. And let me just show you Minnesota on Nancy's map because it's going to matter. It's definitely going to matter. Watch this. Minnesota. Here we go. And school. And school in Minnesota, she teaches. How does Ann Burnson teach? Maybe she taught there. Maybe, I don't know why is it that on public records, when you look up Ann Burnson, it says that she was a teacher here. Isn't that interesting to y'all? Because it is to me. Where Nancy was vocal on Facebook about Alex Preddy, there's Annie. This is where a lot of weight comes down on Annie during the missing event. There's a divine justice here. And it could be about values, money, values, what you truly value. And there's a weight here with her. Was she scared her mom was going to be something was going to happen to her mom? Because she was voicing her opinion and it was getting political about Donald Trump? Possibly. But you can see that the FBI has leads that come in. There's Chris Nanos, or actually, this is Arizona. The state of Arizona receives leads here about things of the past. We can see that Nancy Guthrie, there's a devouring energy here with values. When she was not happy about it. She was not happy about it. And her North Node is going into Virgo, going south of her home. Shake up with investigation. The natal Saturn is here. But it's in a good standing with Pallas and Capricorn. That would be the investigation. And watch this. So that Pallas and Capricorn, that angle with the investigation with Nancy is going this way. It's going this way. Nathan's current address. I don't remember who Nathan is. I don't remember who Nathan is. Who is Nathan? Capricorn. Nathan. Nathan. Damn. I don't even remember that. Let's see. Nanos. Chris Nanos is there. That Chiron that he has that is going over the Hebrew school. The Chiron that he has that is going over the Hebrew school that messes with his work, his public image, and all of that is going right here. And I can't remember who Nathan is. God dang. Who is Nathan? I wonder if that's one of Ann's kids or something. I don't remember. And the FBI has a low point here with any type of evidence and their public image as well. Oh, okay. Let's see. Ah, there it is. There it is. The forensics lab, Astrea. Astria's forensics lab is right here. Oh, well, this makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense. Because that school that this angle is going over, that Hebrew school that this angle is going over with the pain. Because again, people are not seeing the political side. They're not even considering the Epstein stuff, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just not clicking. It's just not clicking with these high profile ex investigators. Like, why in the hell is it not? It seems like it should be common sense. But common sense is just not so common, evidently. It's just not so common. Jesus. Okay, let me go back. Okay, yeah, hold on. I don't know, but I don't know if he could have been paid, bought and paid for. But this is where I want us to I want to take us. Okay. I want to take us right here because this Jupiter in the 10th house, this is the home. This is Nancy's home. This is where the full moon is coming into, right? Because the full moon is coming, it's cultivating, and there is going to be an opposition when a full moon takes place, the moon and the sun. So the sun is reflecting on her posts, reflecting on her groups, the community, and her public posts on the networking, her kids. But this is where I really want to focus is right here because the Jupiter, this could be military. Okay, Jupiter can be military, Jupiter can be a judge, an attorney, judge, attorney, military, it can be religion, immigration. And that's exactly everything that was going on when she goes missing. So there's no surprise, but what the surprise is, you may find, is this degree that Jupiter is sitting in at a 1720. It's at a 17 degree and 20 minute. That you may find interesting. No doubt about it. When we look at Israel, they have a 1720 in their chart. Israel also has a 1720 in their chart. This is where they receive leads. This is about the health of the past, of the justice, and the government. This is about war. War. But it's with, you can't see it. You don't see it coming. The 2713 in Pisces is showing you're just not seeing it coming. Okay. And so this 1720, there's a lot of warring with it. Lots and lots of warring with it. So the 445 that we see here, and the reason why I'm talking about these degrees and all of that is because you're going to see how some of them are going to connect and interconnect with Charlie Kirk too. I promise. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. So their Apollo in the 11th house is a 1730. It's in Virgo, 1730 in Virgo. So that had already made contact with the 11th house of groups. But anyway, I don't want to get you sidetracked. I want to show you something. So there's a breakup with Admetos in the 9th house with the immigration. So this is the immigration. This is where Jupiter rules. And what I'm about to show you is this right here. Hygeia is coming down into a 24 degree. So she's coming down to a 24-21 with the groups in Israel. And their Venus in their 9th house, where Jupiter rules, where Jupiter is actually would be sitting right here, is expanding their 9th house. The 447, well, in just a couple of hours by midnight, by 1 o'clock in the morning, when Nancy's, stuff disconnects, it's a 447. It's a 447. So, yes, this 447 is Israel. The 448 is going to be Vladimir Putin. It's going to go to Israel first at a 447, and then it's going to go to him also in Cancer at a 448. There's a reigniting of a flame with Vladimir. The other thing that I want to show you is this. In the 4th house of home, what we're going to see is we're going to see a video. And there's the porch guy. And we're going to see things that are going to be transformative, that are going to have to do with Oklahoma and California, because they have the 342 in their chart. Oklahoma, I believe New York does as well. And so does California. And that's where Derek Colella, remember, he says, hey, I've got what's up with the Bitcoin? We're ready. Where are you going to drop it? We're ready. So there's some communications here. There's some communications with Derek. It's going to Annie and Tommaso. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. So the other thing that I think, let's see. Yeah. I'm looking at this Aquarius because all of this Aquarius energy with Venus and Mercury is coming right here. It's in the 4th house. What else am I seeing? They had that 2502. I need to remember that because I've been watching that degree. Okay, so let's look at Israel and Israel's connection to Arizona. Israel's connection to Arizona, because this is where you're going to find it very interesting, I think. Israel and Arizona. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Putin too, so I can show you exactly the connections. Not to be, I want to be fair. Watch this. Watch this, guys. You're not going to find another channel that's investigating this way. I mean, you're just not. And the way that it connects is crazy. Crazy. So Arizona and Israel. Arizona and Israel. So Arizona has a 0050. That's in the 9th house. It's ruled by Capricorn. There's a lot of authority here, but it shakes groups up. Shakes them up. And right now, Chiron is activating. Chiron is literally activating this degree. Lots and lots of pain with groups in Arizona. Protesting, I don't know. But there's a shakeup, and it could be about the air. It could be about the monsoon, right? I just don't know because I don't live in Arizona. But I do know that this 0050 connects to Israel. Israel, the Vulcan is a 0050 that also connects the state of Tennessee and Arizona. But yeah, so this 0050, it's communications that are hidden, things that are hidden in, and could be about, minerals, gems, the earth, the mining, the money. Two people, it would be two people that Israel's connecting with in the government of Arizona. So all the pro-Israeli government that, the high government in Arizona, the pro-Israel military, there you go. There you go. And the dark moon is making its way right there at that 2738. The dark moon is headed there with a vengeance. But first, it's going to hit Arizona. Once it hits Arizona, then it's going to hit Israel, and then it's going to come back to Arizona. The dark moon is. That's going to be a trip to watch. Arizona is majorly connected to the Epstein clan. Majorly connected to Epstein. But here's where it's really going to get interesting for you guys is Arizona rises with a 254 in Gemini. Well, guess what? Vladimir in Arizona, well, he's reflecting all the time about those two people. Or maybe, just maybe, he has some inside intel with Arizona. Why does he connect with Arizona and his moon? Let's Google it. Let's Google it. Arizona and Putin connection. Let's see if Google knows, because we don't know. Let's see. Divestment from Russian assets In March 2022, Putin's invasion of Ukraine, the Arizona Board of Regents ordered Arizona's 3 public universities to divest from any Russian investments as quickly as possible and exclude Russian assets from retirement plans. Russian entry bans. In May 2023, Russia placed travel bans on 500 Americans in response to U.S. sanctions. This list included Arizona State University, President Michael Crow, and prominent Arizona congressional members. Well, the moon and the ascendant and the descendant, right? The descendant of Arizona is definitely the universities. This is all Jupiter. I mean, Sag is Jupiter, and they have Jupiter in Sag. Arizona does. So the military is there. The 2734, the 2734, the 2704. The military. There's also judges and attorneys there that are corrupt. Big time. My opinion. Big time. Epstein connects to Arizona in a big way. In a big way. And like I said, Vladimir has the 448. So when we're just looking at degrees, we want to see the exact degree, because at the exact degree we can kind of get a an idea of what could be taking place with the different players, because they do the way that people connect, the way that countries connect, the way that we all connect. It's going to be like, the 447, the 448 is going to come, or it's going to be in retrograde and it's going to go down in degree. But I can tell you one thing, Vladimir has just had a major opposition in Leo. The eclipse is going to happen here with his public image, right here. And it's going to oppose. This is where the eclipse is going to oppose, is right here with his north node and groups at home and protesting probably. But yeah, so let me show you. I can show you something else too, just so you can understand a little bit about these connections. Okay. Let me just bring up Chris Nanos. So I've got Nanos chart. Of course, I don't know what time he's born, but watch this. This is going to show you what I'm talking about, because we are all connecting. The degrees in our chart literally matter in the state of matter. I can't prove it enough to different people quick enough. Okay. But Chris Nanos is on the left, and he has a 2444 in his chart. No matter what time he's born, Sedna is a non-mover, and she is a 2444, and she's in Aries. Well, Arizona has a 2444 Aries North Node, and it's about the warring things of the past. There's a lot of warring, and this is where they reach their North Node, is with the war. Any type of war. Warheads. It's fiery. It's combust. It detonates. It's Fort Huachuca. Right? Things of the past. And I want you to take note. See the Saturn right here that could be taking money? There is there's somebody here that is taking money. It's a 1408. Remember that, because it's going to come back in handy when we look at Charlie Kirk's unaliving. So this 2444 connects. So you want to see where that's at on Nancy's map, the 24? Where is the 24? Where is he? going to be a 24. Let me just make sure I've got it. Hold on. Okay, well, that looks like the FBI's got it anyway. This is where we're going. We're going north with their connection with the war. Let's go this way. Damn, let me take off some of these. It's his Sedna. It's a Sedna, so that's a 24. It's going to be right here with the FBI. So the FBI, Chris Nanos, and Arizona is all going to be right here. There's the parking area. We're going this way. So they're connecting this way. It's going to go this to the side of the house, right where Enton was talking about with the FBI. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. And it makes sense because I mean, this is a warring energy with Chris Nanos and the FBI and Arizona. And Arizona. So there's a Christian Academy. Oh, there's a replaced pipe right there. A replaced pipe. Another casino. There's a tribe, a reservation. Another reservation. There's a landfill. There's a landfill. Hmm. Well, that's not good. All right, let me come back. Let me come back here. I don't think it'll ever be solved, Cam. I don't. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be, Cam. The other thing that I want to show you, remember this 1408. Okay, so that's their Saturn. There's an authority figure that is behind the scenes with war investments. War and investments, this 1408. Okay. And the 1408, when Nancy at 10 o'clock, at exactly 10 o'clock, look what I captured. The mark at that exact moment at 10:00 p.m. We are making a mark. There's the part of fortune, and it's a 1408. Slowing down. There is a government official behind the scenes. There's somebody behind the scenes, and it's showing up at exactly this time. The other thing that I want to show you that's happening at exactly this time is remember the moon. The moon is at a 254. We're reflecting on the past with Russia. We're reflecting on the past with Arizona. Russia and Arizona, their connection. But I don't think that Vladimir took Nancy because the Israeli ambassador was there, unless the Israeli ambassador is working with Putin. You know what I'm saying? So if we get this dark moon to the 447, it's definitely going to pull more with Israel. But I want to look now at Netanyahu. I want to look at Netanyahu. Hold on. Let me bring up Savannah for a second because I'm thinking I see something here. And I may not. Let me just I've looked at some of her her degrees in her chart, but I'm not sure if this one is connected. Let me look at it for a second. I do see during the missing event that her north node, her south node, her lunar nodes of fate are a 652. A 652. And I do see where that 652 is coming into, well, I mean, it is. It's right there. That 652. Her north node. Sorry, hold on. Dang. She was fated. Look at that. Mars is at a 652, so that she is fated with the vehicle. She's fated with the plane. She is fated with the fate that is coming to her. She is fated with it. Absolutely fated with it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. 1423. I'm just so this 1720. Now let me show you Annie. Because that 17, we know that the 1720 is going to Israel. The Jupiter is more important than the moon. At 10 o'clock, I just captured the ascendant, the two kids, Annie and Tommaso. That's what I'm thinking. But there is definitely a connection with Vladimir. But Israel, much more, because there is so many Jewish people in Arizona. There's so many Jewish schools. So let's look at Annie and the missing event. Watch this. So Annie is over here. She's over here, but look, she has a weight with evidence. She has a weight with money, with values, things she owns, things she possesses. And at 10 o'clock, the military, somebody from out of the country, or police, is expanding this weight of Hades. And her series with groups, all of this energy that she has that goes to groups, that goes to networking, well, all of that is being opposed by groups and money. Money, because the 11th house is about money. And there's the teacher. Where is the teacher going, guys? Remember where the teacher is going on the map. Where's the teacher going on the map? At the Hebrew school. I can't make it up. This weight could also be about anything having to do with minerals, gems, the mining, the earth. It's very earthy. Interesting, isn't it? The teacher is opposing the groups and the religion, because Ceres is a directed energy, but it can also be about religion. There's an opposition here with the teacher. And I promise you, Selena is nothing but a teacher. The white moon, a teacher. And this 23 degree is where we're looking at the eclipse is going over the Hebrew school. Right over the Hebrew school. And the dark moon, well, the dark moon is coming and it's reflecting Israel. It's reflecting with things of the past that Nancy Guthrie would have said politically on her Facebook about Donald Trump, about ICE, about what was happening in Minnesota. But Annie Guthrie, she has a major connection to Indiana that we've got to take note of. This 1415 is a connection that she has. She also has, she and her sister, Savannah, both have a strong connection to Homeland Security. What's Homeland Security? It's also a byproduct, or rather, ICE is like a byproduct of the Agency of Homeland Security. That 349 is Homeland Security. Again, the immigrant situation, what she was posting about. She was posting about Trump and the immigrations. That is Jupiter. And it was putting a weight on Annie and her values. I don't know what political party that Annie likes, what Tommaso likes, but I do know that their family worked for the Clintons, worked for Al Gore, Democrats, going hard on Donald Trump. So I definitely think that this is a major political event. If they tried to stage it as a family, it was because they were worried about her well being. Otherwise, the political party of the Republican Party would have possibly had something to do with it, trying to distract, conquer, confuse. You know what I mean? So we go back and we look, okay, we know that California is showing up and it's coming in the future, and there's a fate because, of course, Aquarius is about the future. If we look at the future here with the communications, with the groups, with, the networking, with the protesting, the ICE, we can pull up the immigration. We can see if if they're showing up here as well. We know that Minnesota was, and we know that Ann Burnson is connected to Minnesota. All you got to do is go on the public records. It'll show you the same thing that it showed me. Ann Burnson. Speaking of Ann, let's go ahead and look at Ann on the map. Let's look at Ann. Let me see. Let's go Burnson. Ann Burnson. So it looks like I got 3. Nancy's friend Ann Burnson right here. Okay, let's look at this. Let's see what we can find here. Well, there's the FBI. The FBI. They're shining here. It's going to take them a little bit to get here, but they will eventually. They'll shine here on Ann, and it could be Ann's kids. Ann's kids that live in um Texas. Here's the missing moon. Well, that moon, guys, that moon that was hitting the ascendant degree, activating the ascendant degree with 2 and with communications. It's coming right here with Miss Ann. And would have to be political. Natal Pluto. So the Pluto that Nancy Guthrie has, that is intense transformation with kids, education, it's coming right here. Major intensity, competition, groups, organizations. There's Annie. Annie's got a dark moon here about things of the past with kids. Ann Burnson's kids. Ann, where's your kids at, girl? Where's your kiddos? So this is the Leo energy, guys. Is the Leo energy. Our Baptist church. We got a public storage. This is the same song and dance. Same song and dance. And Anne is an educator, right? According to her public records, she's an educator. Here's Whole Foods, Cafe Torino. Let's see. Where did that Hebrew school go? Yeah, there's the teacher right here. Here's the teacher. That's right. Here's the school up here. There's the school right there. And Nancy is right there. Okay. So Nancy is here. Shit. I'm sorry. Anne is here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So Anne is here, right through here. And then the school is right here. So this is a different type of Leo. But this is where the moon is. This is the 10th house of Leo. Again, an educator, because we're looking for an educator with Leo. We're looking for somebody that educates or any type of competition. There's a lot of attention here on kids. And if I look at where Ann Bernson's kids are, hold on. I don't know why I've got that right there. Maybe one of Ann Bernson's relatives. Maybe that could be one of the kids. But I'm thinking that pretty much all of her kids live here in San Antonio next to Raytheon. Next to Raytheon. Ann Bernson's kids live here. Look at that. This is where the FBI, this is where their moon is going. This is where the FBI reflects in the 9th house of Cancer, right there where they live. Interesting, isn't it? Miss Anne. And I would definitely watch Anne as well as Annie and her husband Tommaso. Speaking of Tommaso, let's go ahead and well, that's all right. I already showed you guys that. Or did I? No, I didn't. I told you about it. I didn't show you. Watch this. Tommaso. So he right now, if we look at the transits right now, oh, guys, got a 559. There's a breakup with it. Okay. It's been in transit for 3 days. 3 days. And you got to think about it. He's been to what? Oh, yeah. This, he's definitely been to Nancy's house. Okay. But there's a breakup with him and evidence, possible evidence, because that 559 is also, there's a breakup with 2 people. There's a breakup with 2 people and evidence. Now, I don't know what time he is born, but dang, y'all, if he was born at 7, around 7 o'clock before noon, if he was born in the morning, he's also got that 2941. But his north node is going to the values of Vladimir. There's a lot of politics here. And he is about to have a Chiron return. He's about to have a Chiron return. Jupiter came and slowed him down during the missing event. What's interesting is his values with Venus. Venus is about money. His values, well, that's where the Chiron is going, is right over that Hebrew school. That's where values are going, over the Hebrew school. The 2941 would connect to Vladimir, Israel, and Nancy. Oh, 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 and Missouri. I can't forget about that. I can't forget about Missouri. Can't forget about Missouri. Nanos is connected to Missouri. There's a big Missouri connection with this case. A big Missouri connection. There's a Missouri connection, a Minnesota connection, a Texas, and New Mexico. Big time. Big time. And he is connected to the FBI with evidence. And he is also that Chiron. This would be the car. This would be the car. Okay. We got pain with the Chiron. We got a lot of action, a lot of independence with the vehicle, with the body, with a lot of warring, with investment, with warheads, with the military, police, ICE, lots of it right here. And that is where that 27 degree where that Mars and that Jupiter is going up there like toward those, it's going north, kind of northeast of Nancy's house. Very interesting indeed. All of his connections. What I think interests me the most about Nancy's case is her connection to the stock market. Her connection to the stock market, Alan Dershowitz connection to the stock market, and they just so happen to have that same degree that shakes Nancy up. And so I can't forget about Dershowitz. Let's bring him up. Let's bring him up. Because if we look at the different, if we just look at the different like Saturn is going to come and Saturn is on its way. It's conjunct all of this. Saturn is coming here to all of that Aries. And it's opposing the justice. It's opposing the law. But I don't know what house it's in, so I can't really say how it's working out for him, but I do know that his values are going right over that Hebrew school. And it's conjunct. His Venus, his values and his money is Nancy Guthrie's pain. That's sad. That's sad. And that's coming. Look, I mean, Jupiter is going to come and expand his Venus. Then Jupiter is going to come and expand her Chiron. And when it does, it's going that direction over the Hebrew school. It's going that way. It's going that way. So any type of investments, maybe he wanted it. Maybe he wanted what he couldn't have. Maybe he got somebody to do his dirty work. Maybe. Venus is about to come and transform him, though. Let me show you the stock market and what I'm talking about, because this is very interesting. That the New York Stock Exchange, Alan Dershowitz, because this is the Epstein, this is the clan. And then Nancy Guthrie, I've already got her pulled up. So look at this. So the connection between Nancy Guthrie and the New York Stock Exchange is Saturn. So the New York Stock Exchange has a 2622 in their chart, and it's in the 9th house. Again, that 9th house, this is where Jupiter is. This is where Jupiter is. This is where Jupiter rules. They rise where Nancy Guthrie has pain. They rise where the values with Tommy is significant. Significant. And you'd be like, well, I mean, is somebody from the New York Stock Exchange? What are you trying to say, Jennifer? What I'm trying to say is is that when we connect on a certain level, it could be 1143 that she has in her chart. There could be somebody, there could be more than one person that's involved, and it could have to do with investment, something of investment on the stock exchange. Well, they were asking for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is new. This is a whole new different thing. They're not asking for cash. They're not asking for gold. They're not asking for silver. And so she gets shaken up. And the thing about Nancy, when she goes missing, she's 84 years old. And what happens when you're 84? You're going through a Uranus return. So this Uranus return that shakes her up, especially about money and values with the ransom, is connected to the stock exchange. So an investor, a foreign investor, foreign investor. And we can see that this house is a 2832 in Pisces. 2832 in Pisces. 2832 in Pisces. And when Nancy Guthrie went missing, that's where Saturn was. Saturn was going over that 2832. Now it's at a 2839 at 10 p.m. So there was limits and obstacles because of the drop, because of the Epstein drop. There was going to be a slowdown that day. Limits and obstacles with the New York Stock Exchange that Nancy Guthrie is connected to in a big way. And who had the weight with money? It was expanding with money with this weight. That's Annie Guthrie, or Annie, whatever her last name is. And I would say that her reigniting of a flame is not a 2526, but rather a 2522 or a 2622. Nancy Guthrie, there is a reigniting of a flame with her. Anytime it comes to this 2455, there's a reigniting, and there is something more that's going on with Nancy. There's something much more that's going on with her missing event. Now watch this. The 26 degree that she connects with the New York Stock Exchange is also connected to Alan Dershowitz. Look at that. His Mars. All that action that he has is a 2622. All that anger that he has with Savannah, oh, it's right there, and it's connected to her mommy. And guess who he is connected to? Hillary Clinton. Miss Hillary. Yep, sure is. So it's political. It's political. Let's look at the missing event with Alan. Alan Dershowitz. Actually, let's look at Annie first. They are currently in Italy. Interesting. That's very interesting. Well, I don't blame him for leaving. I would be hiding too. That is for sure. So Annie, like I said, she had the opposition right there. And Jupiter is definitely connecting to her in a big way, in a big way, in a big way. Now let's go back to Alan because we already looked at Annie. That's right. This is where I want to see. I want to see what connections are being made between Alan and Nancy when she goes missing. No doubt about it. Let's see. All of that. I want to look at some of these. The 1031. So the lunar nodes are at a 1031 in Virgo. So the north node is actually where he's been before. There. Okay, let me keep looking. He's also got that 2502. He's got a 2502. Hold on. Where did I just see that at? Was that Arizona with the 2502? Is that Arizona? They got a 25. No. Was it Chris Nanos? No. Hmm. Interesting. 25. Allen 1708. That's in transit today. What? I know that I saw that. Hmm. So the Chronos at a 1555 is definitely going to be making itself come right here to the 11th house of groups when it comes down to that 1554 and children, the way that he creates with that 357. And that 357 is definitely the connection that he has with Savannah Guthrie. So he definitely has a Savannah Guthrie connection here. The 357 is going to go to Savannah and their connection, both of their connection to, see, she's got the 357 Neptune. He's got the 357 physician that brings enlightenment. She doesn't see it. And that is going to the Virgin Islands. I mean, it just all connects like crazy. This all connects like crazy. So the Virgin Islands, the 350, hold on. Virgin Islands. I gotta get it. The 357 with the Virgin Islands is right here in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, things that are hidden. They are definitely connected to, Virgin Islands are definitely connected to Utah. I can promise you that, to the Utah, there is this 355 is totally connected. This Venus is connected to, what's his face? Bill Gates. And he, this 357 is Dershowitz connection to Savannah. So if there is any type of malice, it would definitely be from Alan Dershowitz, and it would make sense because he's all about the Hebrew. She was an attorney. He's not an attorney. The divine justice is coming to oppose. Australia is coming to oppose the Virgin Islands. Okay, that's on its way. It's literally on its way to as an opposition with relationships and things of the past. No doubt about it. So if we look at that with Epstein and we look at the missing event with Epstein, let's see if we can see anything. I don't know if his birthday is a 3:15 a.m. or a 6:15 a.m. When I first pulled it um before he allegedly, took his own life, it was a 3:15 a.m. Then it was changed all of a sudden to a 6:15 a.m. I thought that was very odd. So I'm not sure what time he was born, if it was a 3:15 a.m. or the 6:15 a.m. I think that they did a little switcheroo there. Yeah, I think it does. I really do. I think that it does. I mean, there's something here that's political. And all of that was going on was so political. She's going through a Uranus return. It's a shakeup with the ransom. So Jeffrey Epstein, he is definitely connected through his Saturn, limits and obstacles with contracts with the government of Arizona, okay, and the United States as a whole, and the United States of America. Chiron will be coming here, the weight of money, the weight of the land. He is so connected to Israel, it's not funny. He is so connected to Chris Nanos and Missouri. It's not funny. It ain't even funny. Really. Really. He is definitely being eclipsed with this Leo Pluto. And again, guys, this is where the teacher is at the Hebrew school on the map. He's receiving a lot of information. He's been receiving a lot of information over the days. Tons of information, if he's still alive. And he could be. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But he is definitely connected to Israel. I mean, yeah, to Israel and to Arizona. Not so much Vladimir. No, no, he's connected to Israel. To Israel. And there's a lot of magnetism that he has with kids, all kinds of public attention. And Jupiter is coming to that south node. Again, that south node, that's where all of this is going to be eclipsed. Let's see if I see anything with him. Yeah, the 2427 in Gemini is coming to his 2420, where he connects to the state, well, to Israel. $650. I don't really see anything here. Now the other birth time, it's going to be a little bit different because it's going to have different degrees that I can look at. The one thing that I do see with Jeffrey Epstein on the day that Nancy goes missing is the collective. So it goes from Jeffrey Epstein and then it goes to his attorney, Alan Dershowitz. It goes from Jeffrey Epstein to his attorney, Alan Dershowitz. It goes from a shakeup with relationships and partnerships at a home and is devouring. This 1555 is where there's a shakeup when Nancy goes missing. But not only was there a shakeup when Nancy goes missing about the home, and this is the public image, right? All those files dropped. It goes to him. There's a devouring energy with it, with groups. There's a big shakeup. The Department of Justice, they release all this stuff. And the weight is on the Department of Justice. Saturn is coming to the Department of Justice here at that 1423. It's going to activate it with the Department of Justice. And, Epstein, this 15 degree in Cancer. Let's look at her map with that and just look at the Cancerian energy. Let's go up with the 15. It's right here. It's going to be right here. Let's go deeper. We're going to go right here. These green and black lines, that's where we're at. Let's start up here. We're going over this property right here. Going over this property. This 5760. And let's keep it going. Let's ride this one. There's a dumpster. There's a guest ranch resort. She could be living high on the hog right there at this resort. It's for fancy people, bougie. Tucson Water. The water department. Nancy's friend Vicky online. Her church friend. Nancy's friend Vicky. Ah, Vicky. There's the shakeup with Epstein. Nancy's friend Vicky. Nancy's friend Vicky. Ryan McDaniel rental. Okay. Ryan McDaniel has owned some properties. He rented the house from the next door neighbor who is also like Castle Roofing Incorporated. Okay. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Where else is this going to? Ah, now we're back. Now we're back at Ann Bernson's kids. Ann Bernson's kids. But if we were to keep following this, we're going to go down into Miami. We're going to go to where okay, so that's where she's housed. There's Nassau, Mar-a-Lago. So there's Mar-a-Lago, there's Nassau, and then here's the Virgin Islands. There it is. There it is, guys. There's the shakeup. And it definitely would have to do with Epstein. It would definitely have to do with Epstein. And that's exactly what is shaken up during the missing event and is going straight down to Virgin Islands. I can't make it up. I mean, I literally cannot make that up. So yeah, it is definitely connected to him. That 1555 is what you just saw. The missing 1555 Chronos that is conjunct Jupiter, that is going to the 1720 of Annie Guthrie, that is going to the 1720 of Israel. It's right here, right there, with the Department of Justice. Boom, bam. Thank you, ma'am. That's it. That's literally it. It has everything to do with that. Very political. Political indeed. Let me pull up the Epstein. Let me pull up Virgin Islands one more time with that. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. And, you know, Alan was his attorney. So Savannah Guthrie, she has her and her dad have a lot of emotions with 504. They connect to the Virgin Islands, no matter what time they're born. They both connect to the Virgin Islands. Their dad has been deceased for a long time. Let's see. I'm just looking at this real quick because I want to get an idea. It's been a long time since I've looked at this. 355, 29. So the moon would have went over the Virgin Islands and the group first before it came to the ascendant. But it literally, the moon literally was here with the Neptune, with the groups, and how Virgin Islands brings in money. And they have a dark moon, things from the past. Jupiter is coming here. Jupiter is going to come here and expand that dark moon of things from the past. No doubt about it. And if we look at the Zorro Ranch on Nancy's map, because we know that was connected, the Virgin Islands. But if we look at the ranch, let's see. The Zorro Ranch. Where's Zorro? There it is. If we look at this, the Mercury in Aquarius that is squaring her Uranus and Taurus. So she gets a shakeup with groups. She's going through a Uranus return, that 2622, that also connects to, you guessed it, Alan Dershowitz. The stock market. The stock market. The missing event. So the Uranus is conjunct her Uranus. There's a shakeup with groups. Tommaso has his south node where he's been before. And that weight that Annie has is right through here too. So, kind of makes sense to me. Kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense, don't it? So if we look at maybe Mr. Guthrie passes early. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely did. Yeah. It comes right back around to Epstein. If we look at Charlie Kirk, I don't know what time, I don't know his birth. I know his birthday, but I don't know his birth time. I don't know Nancy's birth time. But I do know that when I was looking at Charlie Kirk, this is when he was taken out. Okay. Now let me show you again. I'm going to show you Virgin Islands. Okay. Because this is going to make sense once you start seeing the connections that I'm talking about. This is the exact time that he was allegedly shot. And as you can see, there is a 2944 in Libra. There's a 2944 with the sixth house of health, the everyday. And that 2944 is going right here to the eighth house, the hidden sex, things that, again, Dershowitz, Savannah Guthrie, all of that. He gets taken out in September. Guthrie goes missing in February the following year. But there is major lots of political propaganda. And if you don't follow the rules, you could be taken out. And I've already showed you Arizona's 1408, right? I've already showed you 1408 when it comes to Arizona. He was shot in Utah. But there is somebody behind the scenes in Arizona here with a lot of directed energy with warring, and that would be Fort Huachuca. That would be Fort Huachuca. Okay? It's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So this 1408 with Arizona, there's somebody behind the scenes that is working, that is the Saturn, that is not doing well. Now let me pull up Erica Kirk. Erica, and when Charlie was taken out. Erica, the widow, she has a physician. The physician, the coroner, is being opposed. That Saturn is connected to her. Okay? The Saturn, the Fort Huachuca, the war, the investments of Arizona is connected to her. And that physician that she has is being opposed with a lot of directed energy, kinetic energy. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Do you understand what I'm saying? She has a reigniting of a flame. I don't know what time she's born, but you can bet your butt that 447 belongs to her. She is definitely all about Israel. And it's with money. It's with donors. Okay? It's with other people's money. When Charlie was shot, the 448 is going to Elon Musk and his connection to Russia. However, the day before, actually, it wasn't too long before this actually turned to from a 447 to a 448. But this is definitely Elon Musk. So the day before, there would have been a lot of attention with Erica, with other people's money, exchange of money, and something hidden with the investigation. And I would say that the Saturn at a 2918, I would say that that Saturn had already left the 2919. It had already left her in the groups with the military and the religion. She is very much a part. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Jeff had to get in. Y'all, she is very much a part of this, okay? It would have happened the day before. The day before, I mean, we can even, but look, she is having limits and obstacles with her groups, with the religion, okay? With the courts. It's a quick movement of an energy. Quick movement. That's the pew pew. That's the fire. The fire. The boom. And I would say that she probably was born much later in the day, may not even have that 447. It could be something else, like a 450 or something like that. I would say that the Saturn is probably at a 0050, so I could make her go a little bit further in advance with her birth time. Definitely, I think. Because the wake up call for the future that is coming to her with the investigation, Palace, the investigator, with the community, with the groups that she's affiliated with, the TPUSA, going to be investigated. The reason why I think that there is a lot of emotion that is surrounding Elon Musk is because of the money, the Doge, the money, the money. So her 1408, like I said, there's the physician, the coroner. Let me show you Arizona's chart. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and progress her chart a little bit because I know she was born later. I just know it. There's already been a divine justice come over her, and where she's been before is an opposition. She is not doing well. Let's go ahead and put her at least. Hold on. Ah, yeah. Let's go ahead and put her. Oh, yeah, because she is, yeah. Let's go ahead and leave her right here. Oh, God, y'all. I'm about to show y'all a little something, something. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up, guys. Now I think we're cooking with gas here. Hold on. She's got the 2621, 2621. You know, I would think that she would be connected to the stock market too, but I don't know. I would say I'm going to leave it right here for now. I'm going to leave it right here because she would definitely connect to Washington, D.C. She would definitely connect to Mexico. She would connect to the state of Tennessee. And yeah, I'm going to leave it right here. We'll just say that she was born around 7:30 a.m. Let's do 7:40. 7:40 a.m. Let me show you her chart with Arizona one more time, or if I haven't, I definitely want to show you that one more time. Arizona and Erica. So Erica's going to be on the left. Arizona is going to be on the right as I duel it out. And guys, you can watch this on your TV later or something like that, and you can see it bigger. Watch this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to show you the map. I'm going to show y'all the map. Y'all, don't you worry. Don't you worry. So not only is this investor, this authority, this government official connected behind the scenes to Erica Kirk and the physician. But she also has a lot of emotions, lots and lots of emotions with home and mom that brings a divine justice to things of the past with Arizona and the investments, the mining, the jewels, all of that, that money, honey. So she is connected no matter what time she's born. Okay. She is connected no matter what time she's born. She is connected to the state of Arizona. Miss Arizona herself is connected to the state. And her Saturn that brings limits and obstacles for her and her work and her authority is not only going to Arizona, but don't forget, it's going to Israel too. It's going to Israel too. And it shakes, her limits and obstacles where she needs to get more mature is shaking the groups up. That is me and you. That is a collective shakeup with community, with networking, with online, and innovative technology. Innovative technology. Let me show you something. This 1610, she has a major discord with that 1610, no matter what time she's born. The two people that have that is Alan Dershowitz and his connection to Hillary Clinton is the 1610. That is where all of her anger goes, is that 1610. And that's who has it in their chart. Alan Dershowitz, the attorney for Epstein. And Epstein himself. So I'm taking note. I hope you guys are too. So if we just look at Charlie's map, and let's look at that 1408 that was in transit, that was in an opposition. Oh, shit. No, not looking at Guthrie. I'm looking at Charlie Kirk now. Watch this. Watch this, guys. Because I mapped it. I was told the next day, hey, girl, remember that shit that you were asking me to watch? Well, you won't believe what just happened. I'm like, whoa, really? So the Saturn is going right here. And Erica, her 14 is going this way. Hold on, let me go ahead and draw her in so we can get a good look at this. The 14 is going this way. So the 14 is going to right. There's her position right there. And the Saturn that was opposing her is going this way. That was also a 14. So I'm just going to show this one first. Actually, let me see on down here what that opposition for her is. And that's the 1610. Let's just go ahead and put in Eris. So Eris, the goddess of war and strife. The 1610 that goes to Tweedledee and Tweedledum. There it is. Okay. So this is Erica Kirk. Erica's Apollo opposes Eris in Aries. Okay. I'll tell you what that is all about here in just a second. Like I said, it's just a slowdown. It's her connection to Arizona. that had a contract out. That's a contract. There's a contract out on him. Let me turn on the addresses. Let's go further down deep. We're going to see this opposition now. This opposition with the contract. Chick-fil-A, where Tyler ate. This is where she is having a lot of discord that would go to Hillary Clinton and the lawyer of Epstein, 1610. I'm sure other people have it, you know. There's the Institute building. So the Chick-fil-A, the Institute building. See what else we have. We got the Quick Quack car wash in Utah. See what else we got. Cowboys Smokehouse Cafe Steakhouse. Remember, this is where there is someone that said that they saw Tyler. And he knows that that was Tyler. He had the timestamp, the receipt, everything. Said that he ate there. Do y'all remember that? The Charlie Kirk case? This is also close to where Tyler surrendered. But that right there, that's the physician that brings enlightenment. And the business, the limits and obstacles, the business, that's it. There's the business right here. That's a business. And then the Chick-fil-A is also the business and the car wash. So we got the Quick Quack car wash. So there should be something there of evidentiary value. Definitely something there. During the missing event, like I said, Saturn is going this way. Actually, Saturn is going this way. So the Saturn that is actually opposing her is actually right there. Is that right? 180. That's it. Oh. Yeah, that's it. There's the Saturn that's opposing her, though. Her physician that brings enlightenment. Let's see where that goes. If it goes anywhere. And it does. Hold on. Utah State University, where Tyler went. Limits and obstacles of the So who would work at the Utah State University? There's Jeannie. So Jeannie she works at the university where Charlie Kirk was taken out. And she is a CIA girl. This Saturn, though, is squaring up during the missing event and it's going this way with the health, the maternal of that Saturn. There's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, electro-optical research. There's Erica's mom. There it is. Erica's mom. So I would say that Erica's mom is the Saturn. Is squaring up with the Saturn because Erica's mom is there's a square here with where Tyler went to the university and the CIA chick that works at the university where Charlie was unalived, Jeannie. There's all kinds of CIA agents that are there, because they recently started doing a class. So there it is. There's Erica's mom. So we already see that maternal line right there. There's the NSA. There's the NSA, guys. ATF, firearms, the NSA, the White House, the CIA. So we got the CIA, the NSA, we got Erica's mom, and then this line is going all the way out. It's going all the way out here to Israel. So I definitely think that. I definitely think that there is a cover up here. Big time with both cases. Big time with both cases. There's a cover up. It's political. It's my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. It's my opinion. But I think that there's a political agenda here in a big way. One big NWO party. Exactly. Liberty. Exactly what you said. We look back at this. Okay, so we look back at when he was taken out. Let's go ahead and pull up Elon, because I already saw all of this the night before. And like I said, I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was, but I already saw this. I knew that this was an Epstein type of thing. This was an Epstein type of event, and it looked intense. I wasn't sure what was going to happen to Donald Trump. I didn't know if he was going to be taken out. And he wasn't taken out, but his alleged friend was. Alleged friend. I don't know that Trump has any friends, true friends, or maybe he was duped. I don't know. But when I look at this event, the reason why I was so honed in on it is because things of the past with Donald Trump and the attention that he would receive is right here. This is where the eclipse is taking place with Donald Trump and is coming to his ascendant. Okay. All of that Hebrew stuff that you saw on Nancy Guthrie's map, it's all right here with that 12th house. That 344 that transforms him, that's where he was teaching and he was learning about Charlie Kirk in the 9th house. This is a religious, military house. This is immigration. This is other countries, okay? Taking him out. This is a contract on Charlie Kirk. This is a definite contract on Charlie Kirk. Just waiting to see. Hold on. I can't remember who that Saturn also belonged to. There was something else. I thought there was something else that was hold on. $14. See, the divine justice had already made contact, had already activated that 1408 with Erica Kirk in Arizona. The divine justice had already came to that 1408, bringing limits and obstacles, more work that they had to do, especially when it comes to the physician and how everything was going to play out. And it was definitely having to do with the pew pew and the, the religion. The religious aspect, because you don't talk bad about BB. You just don't do it. You don't try to find money. Can't be trying to find money. But look. Oh, yeah, I found it. Limits and obstacles. Okay. This is how we're really going to be able to tell that Trump knows a hell of a lot more about Charlie Kirk than he is letting on. Because Erica Kirk, I would say that shakeup that she gets with groups about religion and the way that she creates here, well, that 2918 is limits and obstacles for not only Donald Trump with the way he creates with his kids, with other countries, but it's also found here. And it activated his chart. limits and obstacles with two people, with communications, and the way that he brings in money at home. So, yes, that 2918 came over Erica Kirk first with Saturn out of 2919, 2920, and then it came over him. Now let's see if she could I mean, maybe we could get her. Maybe we could get her to the 2918. I don't think that I could before. I can't remember, but I can definitely try and see if she connects to him with groups there. And she does. She does. Which would be very interesting. And of course, again, the connections that she has with um oh, there's the 342 with the relationship. That would be California. Okay, so maybe she is born at like 12:30 in the morning. Because she would definitely shake things up at home with Arizona. Definitely shake things up with home in Arizona. And there's her values. There's the values with the physician that is connected to. Look at that. She's got a lot of energy that's going with groups, relationships, and partnerships with that 1757. Okay, so I may like this chart even better. The 1757, does the Virgin Islands have that? Or was it another? Yeah, it's another chart. It's another chart that I'm thinking about. But see, Donald Trump's, his dark moon not only goes to California, but it also goes to Virgin Islands. And so does another case I'm working on with Sebastian Rogers, who's missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. But this is definitely telling a story. So there's a slowdown with communications with Erica Kirk and let's look at Elon. Let's look at Elon. Oh yeah. There's an explosion at home, all kinds of emotional explosions at home with Charlie Kirk. He has a 1920 Venus, his Venus, all that money that is behind here that he has at Charlie Kirk's and TPUSA, all of that money, honey, with the two people from TPUSA. It's right here. There's Doge. There's the audit. This is the money that Charlie was looking for. Charlie was looking for money, Elon. Looking for money. Mm-mm-mm. So we've got Elon right here. We got President Trump. President Trump right here with his connection with Erica. And we got a lot of energy that's opposing Erica Kirk with the military, with her physician, which is the coroner. And there's limits and obstacles with that 1408 that just so happened to pop in at 10 o'clock when Nancy Guthrie goes missing. So let's take this 14. I'm going to work with you guys for just a second on this 1408. I'm going to go back into the past and I'm going to go into the future. Watch this. Actually, let's go into the future first because I want to give you guys a date to write down. Make sure you get you a pencil and paper, pen and paper ready because we're about to do this. Okay. We're about to do this because right now, Saturn is in Aries still. Okay. And it's in retrograde now. It's at a 1433. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this to a 1408. We're going to go back into time. I'm going to do this with Nancy too here in just a second. We're going to go to August 22nd. We're going to go to August 22nd. Write it down. I'm about to give you a time. So we're going to be back where we were with Charlie Kirk that day. Okay? And I'm about to start pulling some more charts. All right. So let me tell you who I see first. I definitely see that opposition with Erica Kirk and her connection to the Saturn of Arizona. I also see Texas with that Neptune, Texas. There is that 707. There's the magnetism with children, with Epstein. Epstein is right there with kiddos. There's a justice there. Limits and obstacles. This could have something to do with, I don't know, the justice system. Well, let's keep going. Let's see what else we can find here. Oh my gosh, I think I know who that belongs to, but I'm going to keep going because I'm already excited here. Look at that 1610, guys. There's the 1610. Remember who we were talking about that goes to? Oh yeah, that's right. It goes to Hillary Clinton, Alan Dershowitz, and Erica Kirk. She's got a lot of warring that's going on. Lots of warring that's going on right here. There's that 2502 that I was looking for. There it is. I knew I've seen this chart before. The 2502. That's Alan Dershowitz, right? Alan Dershowitz. Buddy, you're not going to be able to escape this. There's the sun is shining on California. The lunar nodes are coming down to the 2945 that California has and the 2944 that the Virgin Islands has. There's Secret Service. There's Secret Service. There's that 1142, the 1143. That is Tommaso. Remember, there's going to be an expansion with the teacher, with the Chiron that Nancy Guthrie has. But there's the Secret Service. 1357. We could be even looking at Mississippi. There's Alabama. I see Alabama. Definitely Texas. Definitely, there's a lot of Texas energy here. I definitely see Alabama and Homeland Security. And this 1717 also goes to Vladimir Putin. This 1614 goes to, you guessed it, Donald Trump. This 338, well, it's going to go to the 337, 338, 339. It's going to go over Texas. It's going to go over New Mexico. And it's going to go over and activate the chart of the Virgin Islands. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is going to be a big day, guys. It's going to be a big day. Saturday, 10:53 a.m. Nashville time, August 22nd. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down, guys, because it's going to be a big day. I've been looking at this day. I looked at it for a long time. Israel is in this chart as well. Israel is in this chart. It's almost like this isn't a deja vu of like a Charlie Kirk, but there is definitely going to bring limits and obstacles with the state of Arizona and their connection to people that are behind the scenes in the government there. They're connected to Erica Kirk. This is a big deal. Big deal. And I expect somebody is going to be telling me, hey, this is what happened, Jenn. Look at this. Let me go back. Let's look at Epstein again with that date. Because it may not have anything to do with him that you're going to hear about. Oh, but it will. It will. Because there's gonna be an activation with this 707 that is definitely going to a transformation in the public eye, and there's a justice here. I could pull up the Department of Justice as well. Mhm. Sure could. This is definitely gonna involve Texas. Let me pull up Ghislaine Maxwell with this, because we know she's in Texas. It's definitely gonna be hitting him, no matter what time he's born. No matter what time he's born, it's gonna be hitting him. She's definitely gonna get a lot of information. The wisdom is gonna come to her the next day or later on that day because she has a 1611. She is definitely connected to Arizona through this 2734. Saturn is gonna come back to her moon after Arizona. There's gonna be a lot of energy going against the way that she shines, so she's not gonna be doing well that day. And she also connects to Israel through the 0050 and Arizona with the 0050, as well as possibly Erica Kirk. She also has the 1143 that I'm looking at with Jupiter. She has the 445 in her chart. That's where she was magnetized. So the dark moon, even before the dark moon, before it hit Nancy's missing event, it hit her about the magnetism of home, France. Maybe she considers her home Israel. That would already be a relationship that's gonna come and oppose her or actually, slow her down. So the Department of Justice, they could be, I don't know, they may release something that day, but there is definitely an opposition with Erica Kirk that day too. Department of Justice. Well, there was definitely things going on with them, but look at that. The 2918, it was slowing them down. So look, the 2918 that Saturn was at when Charlie was taken out, the 2918 that connects to Donald Trump, the 2918 that is possibly connecting to Erica Kirk is connecting to the values of the Department of Justice. Whoa, with their values. And their values are definitely connected to the FBI. And that would have shaken them up. Palace would have shaken them up at an 819. Yes. So it could be, maybe it's a judge. Saturn just came and hung out there at a 1435. Interesting. So Saturn would have come here first and activated that one, Department of Justice, and then that one with the day that the day that Charlie was taken out. So the Department of Justice is all about the justice, slowing them down with the Enlightenment, slowing them down. All those redacted. Okay, so the 2918. Interesting. Let's see if they're showing up on this day. Well, the United States is definitely gonna be showing up. Bill Gates is gonna be I can see him up in here. Hmm, 532. I don't see them here. Don't see them here I don't see them in that. It is a lot of stuff. Man, the Department of Justice, I need to remember that. They're all the values, the justice, the physician of the home, of the family, of the genealogy. I don't know. What the hell? 1157. So if Epstein does rise at that 1157, then the Department of Justice is definitely connecting to him through his ascendant. A lot of discord, especially about things of the past, especially about him not being dead. There's Homeland Security is right there. I definitely see that this is definitely going to have something to do. I think look, no matter who it has to do with, just remember what you heard here. And you can cut through the bullshit and really know what it is that's happening. 2050. I've already seen this. I've already foreseen it, and that's showing up too. Well, I tell you what, it's going to come down that 1408, then it's going to go to the moon of Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's see. I definitely see Texas and New Mexico in here. Virginia, there's all kinds of shit going down with some other cases that I'm looking at and working on, like with Sebastian's case. And it's crazy that this is because the Virgin Islands is a place that, missing Sebastian Rogers' step grandmother and grandfather went to on vacation. So that could be why. 532. See who else is involved here. 32. Okay, so they have a 535, so it will eventually be about them. On the 20th, okay, so what's gonna happen is the 20th, on August 20th, the ascendant, the connection that Savannah has with Virgin Islands is going to be activated, okay? And then on the 22nd, that's when it comes to the Virgin Islands and to Epstein and Arizona. And Arizona. Okay, so if we look at Arizona, let me take this one off and let's look at Epstein for a second. Because I've mapped Epstein from when he allegedly I've mapped him from when he allegedly unalived himself. So I've mapped him from New York. So let's go into Arizona and see if there's anything. There's New Mexico, there's Arizona, where Larry Nassar did time. Okay. So we got Flagstaff. So that day, the missing event, Jupiter is conjunct the moon right here in Sag. This is in Flagstaff. Things of the past with the courts and judges. Okay, so that's Flagstaff. Let's go back to Nancy's map because I'm going to have more stuff in Flagstaff that's going to point to us and what it could be about. Makes sense? That makes sense to y'all? So let's go because I've got a hell of a lot more on her map. So let's go to Flagstaff. And I'm going to come out and see what addresses I have here. Department Health Services, Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System, County Parks and Recreation, So we're going right around here, around Flagstaff. I don't see anything. Hey, what was the other one? There was something, there was another line that I saw of his. Epstein. That's in Tucson. Damn, that's a big ass conjunction. So that's Tucson. Let me go and see if I can see University of Arizona. Let's go. Let's go down deep. Let's see. And then I can say, okay, so that East 15th Avenue. No, let's do East 16th Street. Let's do a oh shit. Let's do an address. 830 East 16th. 830 East 16th. 830. Because this is where the line is going. Same conjunction line that I was just talking about in Tucson. Okay, so this is where that line is going right here. That's where I just saw. So we got Carlotta's Kitchen. Well, we got Carlotta's Kitchen, guys. So that line is going to be going like this. It's going to be coming down to that address where Carlotta's Kitchen is on Nancy Guthrie's map. That's where the FBI is. That 11th house of groups. Wow. And there's Homeland Security. This is the connection that they have with her. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to Carlotta. Let's pull her up for a minute. Don't know what time she's born, but we're going to look at her with Nancy's map. And I still wanted to talk about McCasland and give y'all a date with what's going on with him because it's wild. There's a lot of things coming up with him. Maybe I'll have to do that later or in the morning or something. I don't know. Don't know because I really wanted to talk about him. Okay, so let's go. Oh no. Well, guess we could. We could look at this, make sure that nothing is. Oh well, look. There's groups that's going to oppose her and her work, and maybe possibly her children. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's keep looking at her for a second. Yeah, I've got a 909 with Cupid. I got a divine justice with her at a 909. So we're in the same vicinity here. That's not good. That's not good. Mercury is coming to her Mercury. That's all about the media attention. And I would say that she probably has a 2444 in her chart that would connect to Arizona. That would oppose Chris Nanos. Huh. Venus has just come over her Neptune. Venus is coming to her Mars. Okay, so 20, 21, 22. Let's see. 0042. Let me go back to look at Arizona. Hold on. Arizona, Carlotta. Arizona. Let me make sure they don't have a low 042. I'm pretty sure Nanos does. Nanos and Annie. Let me look at Nanos and Annie real quick together. because there are some things going on with Chris Nanos and Annie. Their chart seems like there's a lot of, coincidences there. She has a 0048, so Chiron is coming to that. So Chiron is going to come to her. Again, she's going to have a lot of pain with values, possible evidence. And then Chris Nanos, see if he has a 00. No, but there's that 522 that connects him to Missouri. Missouri is a big, it's big. With this case, let's see. His Chiron is a 2746, so there's going to be a relationship that's going to bring some authority on him, possibly with evidence. Okay, it's not touching him, so I'm not going to look at him anymore. I'm going to pull her back up with Nancy going missing. Let me pull her back up. Because even if she didn't have anything to do with it and say one of her employees did when Nancy went missing, or if one of her employees, was paid off or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Didn't he invest into a hospital? Yeah, and a university and all kinds of stuff in Arizona. He has ties to Arizona. Ghislaine Maxwell, and they do. So Carlotta, it's interesting because she connects to California and she also connects to Homeland Security. I'm pretty sure Homeland Security and her have that 2154. Rose. Rose. No, they have a 26. Never mind. Who's got that 2154? Was it the CIA? Hmm. One of them has it. Has that 2154 besides California, but she definitely is connecting to California. Homeland Security. Okay, I'm not gonna get stuck on that one. Okay, so let's look at this. So she goes missing. I just want to make sure we got a 420. There it is. There it is. Okay, so she is transformed. She is transformed, and so this could be, I mean, she is definitely connected to the missing event. Whether or not she knows anything, it could have something to do with one of her kids or one of her workers, depending on, let's say that this is right here in the 10th house. Then it could be one of the kids that works for her from California or that is magnetized. There's, some type of connection with her in California. But I'm sorry, this 439 transforms her in the public eye. And she does have a 341 or a 342 in her chart, and she was being opposed. There was some justice. There was a transformation that was opposing her, and it was coming in the future, and it did. It definitely did. Carlotta. Interesting. Carlotta. Again, I'm thinking that there's a setup here. I think that there is a setup. Nancy was very vocal about immigration. Very vocal about immigration on her posts. She has a lot of warring with the 624. A lot of warring with the 624, and that is also coming. That is coming 624. That is going to come on August 22nd. Look at that, guys. August 22nd, the 624. There's a lot of warring. This is also involving Nancy Guthrie, Epstein, Secret Service. Okay. Y'all see that, right? You see, Carlotta. There's going to be the physician that brings enlightenment with the investigation It's going to come hard on her. It's coming to her. It already is. 27, the 27's in Sag. Let's see if she's got anything in Sag that we can see. With what we can see. And she may. I mean, she's got the investigation, a disordered aggression about the past investigation. The 28 degree, that 28 is going to definitely bring a lot of disordered aggression about investigations. The 26 Leo that she has, like I said, all of this, guys, all of this was going on at the Hebrew school. That Leo. 624 is in her chart, and that's coming on the 22nd. She is definitely being transformed in the public eye. Trans Pluto is making contact with Trans Pluto. It's wild. That is wild. So Nancy goes missing. It's 27, 27, 27. 2839. Don't know what time she is born. Don't know the workers. Let's go back to the map and look at the places. So we've got a Carlotta's Kitchen here. Is that it? Hold on. Hold on. No. What am I doing? It's not right there. It's right there. El Charo. And it's crazy that Homeland is right there. Homeland. Okay, so their Ceres in the 4th house of Aries opposes Zeus in Libra. So it's their Zeus in Libra, their public image. So this was a March 17th and a March 18th. So Homeland could have been here. So ICE could have been here. ICE could have definitely been here in March. Okay, so this is going to be the Zeus Libra. Let's go back to Homeland. Because if we're coming back here, then Homeland should give us a clue. Should definitely give us a clue, guys. So their Zeus is it's a 733. They have a 2914. Let's look at their chart with that day. Let's just see if there's anything that's going to be activating that chart with Homeland Security and August 22nd. Because this right here, this 349 is where Annie and Annie and Savannah. So what you're seeing is this opposition. Okay, you're seeing an opposition with Homeland Security, their magnetism, and the 349. So home, war, that opposition. We definitely want to look at, because that is definitely showing us that there is an expression going over Carlotta's Kitchen. And so what is going to happen? Let's look at that. Let's look at this. We may need to look at ICE too, immigration. Let's see. Immigration. $349 would have already come over. 228. Okay, so there's going to be a breakup. There's a breakup with the communications on the 21st. And it's going to activate this chart. And then that'll be with two people with communications. Okay. So that's going to be on the 21st. And then the 22nd 228. So mid-heaven, their IC, that's going to come right around there. Going to be close to that place. Let's go back and see if I've got anything else for Carlotta. So this is El Chararo. That's, no, shit. L. There's Annie. Let me look at this for a second. Law challenges with family. So that's Carlotta right there. That's another one. FBI with that 9th house. I mean, that's definitely immigration. Hold on. There's Luke. Vicki Edwards again. Okay, let's go to this one. There's the Oro Valley. Again, it's opposing the teacher. Right. 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 I remember that. Okay. So, they're going to try to blame that. Are they going to try to blame it on an immigrant? Let's see. Immigration and customs. ICE. On August 22nd. Let's see if they show up. Well, they're right there with that 7 degree with the with Homeland Security. There's 353. So they've already been there's already an activation with them right now. Yeah, that's what it is. Look at that. So the 27, 25, this conjunction, we are reflecting on the disordered aggression, and this is going to immigration and customs. They oppose Nancy Guthrie. Obviously, they do. They definitely oppose Nancy Guthrie with her Chiron. Yep. There it is. Yep. There's a breakup with them. It's all about the immigration and customs, guys. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm looking at the map as far as each one that she owns. Because the one that she owns, each one that she owns is going to tell a certain story. So, look, they have a 458, okay? A 458. This is already in transit. This is already happening. The 458, guys, this 458 that you see with them, it's coming tomorrow. Okay? With ICE, you can bet your ass is coming tomorrow. There is things going to be happening with ICE that is coming tomorrow. There's the 2944. There it is. There's, the Virgin Islands. So we've got to do something. Got to do something different. And there's a relationship. It's coming in the future, guys. You're going to see ICE really show up and show out tomorrow. And then by the 22nd, I think that there's going to be some movement on the Nancy Guthrie case, but I don't think that it's going to be quite the truth. Seems like a cover up to me. And we do know that the 1720 is coming back. It's coming back. Kronos is going to come back to that 1720. Where's it at? On the 22nd. It's at a 1717. So the 25th, it comes back to that 1720 that Annie and Israel share. There is a definite movement with ICE now. And it began yesterday. It began yesterday, and it's going to go through the 22nd. Y'all see. You will see. You will see it. It's going to go through the second. Not yesterday. Look at that, 352. So on the 21st, they're going to be making moves, making moves, because that 353 that Neptune will be at is going to be on their lunar nodes of fate. Let's look at them with Nancy's disappearance. Let's just look at them with her disappearance, because I don't know. They give me the heebie-jeebies. It gives me the heebie-jeebies because they're political. This is a political movement. So political. So political. I just want to see it real quick. See who could be showing up. Oh, they have a 1716. So yeah, yeah. Yep. They have a 2922. They have a 2922. Go back. I definitely see the Secret Service with that. With that day, the Secret Service is going to be all in it. It looks like that they have a disordered aggression with Annie and with Nanos. And Homeland Security. 2019. Hold on. Okay, so that's interesting. That is very interesting. Watch this, guys. The guy that absconded in Arizona, that could have been somebody that was contracted, if there was a bad guy that was contracted with one of these attorneys, or one of these crazy people in the government. If the absconder, he's connected to ICE, the 2019. He's connected to that. He has a transformation with ICE. 2019. Hold on. So let's look at this for a second. Where's Mercury at? Mercury is at a 2. Okay, so Mercury, there is conversations about ICE, the relationships, okay? Yeah, so this we could be looking at it and talking about it, and this shit is already being planned out right now. Okay, so like it's literally being planned out right now, because that 2922, 2944, that's ICE. And the conversations are about Epstein Island. Okay, so the Virgin Islands. The 2019. I'm in a rabbit hole right now. 2019. Let's look at this. So if I see, because Mercury is going to transform William Hubie, the absconder, at a 2019. And so will Jupiter and all that. Let's see what comes to the 2019 first in Leo. Looks like Mercury, the sun will shine. It'll be all, it could be coming before that, but the 2019, oh, it's going to come first. Interesting. Interesting, guys. Watch this. I can't even make this up. Hold on. This is another day that I'm watching, because Annie's going to have limits and obstacles. Arizona, Indiana, anything having to do with Indiana and warring, that's going to come to, it's going to be some issues. There is major opposition taking place with Donald Trump on this day. Look at that. There's the 2818. We know who has the 2819, don't we? Him and Erica Kirk. And the South Node is going to come and sit on his ascendant. At the same time, there is a lot of emotions that are surrounding Savannah Guthrie and her ties to the Virgin Islands. There are major things that are happening with the United States. There's going to be some breakups here. Wow. There's a breakup that with communications with ICE, immigration, and then the 355. There's going to be so much that's going to come about that we are going to forget about the Virgin Islands, or will we? Because there's going to be on the 20th, there's going to be things going down with Bill Gates and Virgin Islands, the Epstein. There is a major opposition with Trump. Things are going to be taking place in Mexico. Things are going to be taking place in Israel and Trump and Erica Kirk. There's going to be things going down with Turkey. Turkey is going to connect to this 2955 that is coming into transit. It's going to connect to the one of our ships, the USS Abraham Lincoln, I believe. And this is what is going to build up to a weight over Donald Trump in Texas. And that 1920 is coming back around with Mercury, and it's going to have to do with Elon Musk. There's the 1610. It's in transit. It's not going away. That's Hillary Clinton. That's Erica Kirk. And that 1610 is also Alan Dershowitz, the attorney for Epstein. And that 2019 that is going to transform, that could transform William Hubie, the absconder that is connected to ICE on August 20th at 10 o'clock in the morning. And look at that. The ascendant and the reflection, Vladimir, the ascendant and descendant of Arizona. Here it is. There's ICE. There is actually, that connection with that, like I said, that absconder. I just wonder what is going to be taking place that day. There's so much stuff going down in Texas that day. ICE. Oh, yeah. Guys, from the 20th to the 22nd, be watching. Be watching about with this. With this live. It's happening. It's happening. The 20th, the 21st, the 22nd. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't say that Nanos works for ICE. I know that he doesn't work for ICE. I'm talking about ICE. I'm talking about the absconder, William Hubie. No, they got it out for him, for Nanos. They got it out for him. That's evident. That's evident. And the public is right there behind him. Right there behind him. Anything and everything that is said, look, this is ICE all day long right here. This chart, the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, and it also has to do with Epstein. It's got to do with distractions. This is our government, guys. Distract, conquer, confuse. That way you don't even know the truth from a hole in the ground. That's what they do. That's what they've always done. That's what they're going to continue to do. And this right here, man, this is going to be cray cray. From the 20th to the 22nd. These are the days that I'm watching. For Donald Trump, Nancy Guthrie, things going down with Erica Kirk, Arizona. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the absconder. I mean, I've got it recorded, so can't make this up, man. Can't make it up. 2918. It's going to come on the 14th, August 14th. I'm just looking at the relationship between Donald Trump. This is August 14th is going to be, this is definitely things going down with Iran on this day. Definitely things going down with California, the Department of Justice, with this energy that Donald Trump connects to with Erica Kirk. That'll definitely be August 14th. August 14th is we're going to hear more about, the Epstein stuff and Erica Trump. This is also a day that I'm watching for missing Summer Wells case. This is a day that I'm watching for Summer Wells too. I've already got it. I've already got it saved in my database on August 14th and the 15th for Summer Wells. But anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and just, looking at the different cases another way, because we can literally, we can investigate another way. We don't have to investigate how all these other people are investigating. We can investigate another way. We can see it. We can definitely see it. Sorry, I meant he doesn't work with ICE in by what Pima County Board of Directors wanting. Oh, okay. Gotcha. In any way at all. I think that Nanos, I think that this is political. This is political. The things that have been going on, they're political. It's going to continue to be political. And eventually, I hope that we, the people, don't fall for the bullshit and we can just keep on, dissecting the truth, discerning the truth. Because what we have been told is so far from the truth. It's not even funny. And it would be nice for these investigators to do, like we have done with Charlie Kirk case. Like everything that I saw before Charlie Kirk was passed away the night before, everything that I saw, the players that were involved, those are the players that are now being talked about. With Candace Owens, with Barron, I don't remember his last name, but those people now get it. It's like, yes, y'all are seeing it. They're not looking at the astrology. I am. But everything that I saw and everything that I continue to see is what they are pointing to. And it would be nice if that were to happen in Nancy Guthrie's case, where some of these online sleuth private investigators or past investigators, past FBI or what have you, would start talking about the real substance. There was an ICE immigration unaliving of Alex Preddy. She was going hard about that. There was a full moon in Leo. Is all attention on kids. Millions and millions of documents had just dropped on Epstein. And, Savannah being such a key player, investigator, her husband working for the Clintons, for Al Gore, who, is from Tennessee. It just all seems to go together. And it would be nice if the people that are talking about Nancy Guthrie's case would actually get on board instead of being in la la land, acting like that this is a regular case. This is not a regular case. Nancy Guthrie's case is not a regular case. Her daughter is not, her daughter is Savannah Guthrie, who interviewed Virginia Guthrie, who interviewed Alan Dershowitz, the attorney for Epstein. This is not just some regular case, but they present it with their, evidence of what they're thinking could be evidence as if it's a normal case, and it's not normal. She does control the narrative. Did they want their mother to be safe? Is this some type of plot? If that is, why would they even do that? I don't think that they would have done that. I don't think that there is any plot to hide their mom and keep her safe. Mm-mm. This is a political move. And the Clintons, no matter what time Nancy got, no matter what time she's born, she is highly connected to Hillary Clinton, highly connected to the Clintons. And of course, Michael, Savannah's husband, is highly connected to the Clintons. This is political. What is going on with the Clintons? With the Epstein? I mean, come on. They're all Epstein political peoples that are tied to Nancy Guthrie's case. Period. Absolutely. 100%. And the astrology shows it. I've been saying it since day one. The astrology is showing it. So, and the map is showing it. So, you know what I'm saying? It makes the most sense. It's logic. But anyways, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the 3 hours. I'm sorry that I did not get to General McCasland because he's got all kinds of things coming up for him. And he definitely deserves for people to be talking about him too, because he is MIA. Yeah, she definitely did. She definitely did. Yes, definitely. Thank you guys for hanging out. I mean, it's just it's high time that we talk about the true substance. And I'm so happy that, like I said, I'm just so happy that people are on board or have gotten on board with the Charlie Kirk and what their real narrative is. Now we just wait on people to get on board of what the real narrative is with Nancy Guthrie. But because of her 26 shakeup with Uranus and Taurus, it's highly likely that she will never be found and it will remain a conspiracy. Oh, thank you, Amy. I appreciate you, honey. Thank you so much. I hope you subscribed and liked and all that good jazzy junk. And I cover cases here. I do live readings. I just do all kinds of stuff. You just never know. But the more that you come in and you see the way that I'm working, the more it's just going to click. It'll just click, just like it does for me. Maybe not as like it does for me, but like it does for the people in the chat. I appreciate you giving this a chance because it's just another way to investigate, you know. Anyways, guys, peace out. Love you guys.